Alright guys, we're at our second job of the day. Probably the hardest part of this job is going to be getting the truck and trailer sitting where it's at. It's a tight little road down here. I've got a video, it hasn't been dropped yet, where I did that house about a week or so ago. So for this one we had to pull forward, go right down here, pull forward into that, back up there, then pull back around, come forward, then back up in here to get where we're at. So we're pretty close to the area we'll be working in. And like I showed yesterday, I don't know when that video will drop, but we got a cooktop or slide-in range. I'm sorry, freestanding range. But we'll need to move out, of course, before we can get the L-top in, because, as you know, if you've ever played Tetris, you can't get the L piece in with the block in the way. So we'll have to move the block out to get the L in. Just like all my rest of my videos, I'll show you step by step what we do, and if we run into any issues, I will show you what they are and how we get through them. And if you have any questions and you're nice about it, I will answer you in the comments. Alright guys, I've put my laser on here just like I always do, and I was just explaining to the customer kind of what's going on with the laser and what we're looking at. Excuse my talking, I can't seem to talk right today. But anyways, as you see, my laser's right here, and then if you go to the right here, the cabinet's about 3/16 higher than the laser, which is telling me that cabinet sets up about 3/16 higher. If you go over here to the left, my cabinet's about 3/16 lower than the laser, so that tells me the cabinet's about 3/16 lower. So we're off a little bit. This side's high, this side's low, nothing some shims can't remedy. But I was explaining to her, as you guys know if you watch my other videos, with a sink run, you know, you want to be careful not to have it floating too much. That's your most sensitive area. So, you know, we try to find the middle ground in visual and structurally safe. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and start moving forward. We've got to put our sink in here. Just looking, it looks like it's a pretty tight cabinet. So I'll see what we got going on there. And we've also got this pipe here coming up. It looks like I can unscrew it down there on the bottom, which is what I will do. You always want to be careful not to break any of your pipes or anything like that. You don't want the customer to have to call a plumber out here, blah, blah, blah. Also, you can set a bucket in there to set your sink on if you need to. But still, this center one sets up kind of high. So ideally, the best idea is to unscrew it so you don't have any catastrophes. When you've done this for a long time, you can pretty much tell at a glance if something's smaller than it should be. So this cabinet is too small for the sink. So our only option is to notch the cabinet out here and here. Must be something in the water here, because I had to do the same thing in that house over there. Alright guys, we definitely had some cabinet issues. So as you can see, I had to notch it out here. Also had to notch it out there. And then as you can see, this big piece of wood in the front, which I always tell my template person to look for, so we can change our setback. But you don't have far to change. You can't set back much further, because then you won't have room for faucet holes. So I had to trim this out as well. What we've got here that we noticed as we was pushing the top in, you guys have seen me do a lot of tear outs on the channel, and you know this laminate has these metal things on it. So you had your old countertop, I'm assuming, that went here. We didn't tear it out, somebody else did. But I guess they missed this piece of laminate, or just decided to leave it there for some reason. But the problem is they left the metal here sticking out further than the wall, so that it hits the top and prevents the top from going back to the wall. As you know, this metal goes about 1 inch behind this laminate. So what I'm going to do is try to take the hammer and knock this out of there. See that? I guess I exaggerated with 1 inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. It goes up under there. That's it. You can see up here, it's not away from the wall. I didn't pull it away from the wall to make it match this cabinet here. We had just put it in, as you watched on the video, on the cart, and just didn't have it squared up in place yet. See, underneath here we've got gaps all underneath, so I always go in there and I put shims in there as well, and when I get ready to silicone, I'll put some silicone back there as well to act as an extra support. Alright guys, we've got everything installed. Got the sink mounted. We used the Go clips again on this one today. 2 on each side, 1 on the back. I went ahead and silicone these gaps back there along with the shims. And now we're getting ready to clean and seal and caulk out. Alright guys, we have finished everything. Just went over aftercare with the customer. Put the cooktop back in. As you know, we always do that on our job. I recommend all installers always put the cooktop back in. There's nothing worse than getting at the shop the following morning and the owner saying, hey, I just got a phone call, you're going to have to go back out to that job. The cooktop won't fit. And I promise you, if you don't have 30 inches, the cooktop is not going to fit. Cooktop slide in, freestanding. I say them interchangeable. You can talk trash if you want. I don't care. But anyways, turned out well. I pretty much showed you step by step the process. 2 drains for the customer. Single hole faucet. Took us a little while on this job. We had to do some modification on the cabinets and things like that. But all in all, not too bad. So we got one more to do today. And I might have to go back to the shop and work. I got a job that goes out tomorrow. I appreciate y'all watching. If you have any questions, comments, leave it in the comments. And like I said, if you're respectful, I'll answer.